Professional organiser. Dilly Carter is right here. She's back on our screens tonight with Stacey Solomon to help families overhaul their cluttered houses in the new series of Sort Your Life Out. Dilly joins me now. I love how you do that. You spread everything out.
Oh.
And it really, you just think, oh my goodness, because we don't need 97 mugs.
We don't need 97 mugs. But some people think that they do need 97 mugs, and that's the battle, isn't it, with me in the warehouse. And the whole premise of the show is that it's really laying out those things. And I think the most powerful thing about the show is that scene, isn't it?
Yes.
When the warehouse doors open and you look at the warehouse and all of your items. I mean, can you imagine having all your house laid out in front of you? It's for everybody.
So much nonsense.
And I think that's what makes the show so relatable, is that everyone can sit there and imagine that. You know, I can sit there and imagine it. You can sit there and imagine it going, oh, my gosh, what would we have? Would we have more shoes? Would we have more clothes? Would we have cutlery, china? What is it that people have? And it's like looking through that keyhole, isn't it? But actually seeing people's belongings laid flat, just thinking, wow.
Did you declutter as a kid? Were you always decluttering? Did you declutter your toys?
I didn't. Do you know what? So what I did, because basically I grew up in a really chaotic household.
Right.
My mum and dad were constantly working. The house was at the bottom of their priority list. And my mum had mental health issues from when I was 11 years old.
Right.
So that's why the house got into real disarray and it got worse. So from the time I was 11 into my 20s, my mum's mental health really declined. She was bipolar and she was sectioned, you know, 10, 15 times throughout my childhood. And the house was the thing that suffered. So my way of helping was to organise, to try and clear up.
Yeah.
My room was always immaculate. It was always tidy. It was my little sanctuary. But the rest of the house was chaos. So I would do my best to try and keep it all nice and neat and ordered. And I just loved it. And I knew that I could really do something with it. I thought, actually, I've got quite a good skill at this.
Yes.
And then when my dad passed away and I went to go and visit my mum, her house was in total disarray. So I started taking befores and afters. And I changed her house in the course of a weekend. I thought, God, I'm pretty good at this, but I'm pretty good at doing this quite quickly.
Yes.
And then I thought, maybe I can make this into a business, because back when, 20-odd years ago, there wasn't such a thing as a professional organiser.
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't. You know, to organise was being a PA in an office.
Yeah.
As an admin role. That's what organisation was. And you might have had cleaners, housekeepers, people that used to look after your house for very wealthy people, but there weren't people that came in and organised and told you how to reorganise your space. So I sort of had this idea about this business that I could create. And I sort of did it. So just went into people's houses.
Fantastic.
Went in as admin secretary and
sorted it all out.
Sorted it all out.
It makes you feel better mentally. I mean, I've just done the big clear out, as I call it. I've just done it, and I do feel better.
Yeah.
And also you can, you know, put your stuff to a charity shop, which is what I did, or we'll talk about this later, how you can make things work for you.
Yes.
You know, if you've got things that you love, but maybe you can't get into them, the Andy's Prada jacket, you can actually, you know, resell that, pass it on, all of this kind of thing, which is great. I mean, it's a good thing to do.
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing about the show and the most important thing about Decluttering and Organise is it teaches you so much. It teaches you so much about, you know, being in control of your space and how an ordered house can be better for you and how decluttering your items, you know, we see the transformation, don't we? We go on this amazing roller coaster through the show of walking into this chaotic house and everyone, including me, is like, oh my gosh. But by the end of it, you've met the family, you fell in love with the family, you've realised how powerful, you know, their story is. And that's the great thing about the families that we meet. They're so diverse. They come from all different backgrounds, all have different needs, and we can help them. And that's what's lovely about it. You really learn about the families and think, I really understand why they're in that situation.
Yeah.
And you're willing them to do well, aren't you, in the warehouse?
Of course.
You want them to do well.
And the thing about you is you've been through a lot, as we know. You know, you had cancer a couple of years ago.
I did,
You had to live with that. Did you find, because of the kind of person that you are and you can compartmentalise and you can sort things out, did that make it, in a way, easier for you to deal with what you were going through?
Oh, I think 100%. I think the way, like you said, compartmentalising my feelings, the way I was, what I went through, I was right, OK, well, this is this part of my life. I now just have to deal with this. And then this is another part of my life. This is another part of my life. But at the moment, all I need to do is just focus on getting better, getting through this moment and getting to the end. You know, I knew I had a goal, I had a focus. I'm lucky that I'm quite a positive person.
Sure.
You know, I'm lucky that I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, because a lot of people don't. I was lucky that I had a huge amount of support around me, you know, because throughout my whole cancer journey, I was working, I was filming. You know, the episode that's about to come out now was when I was going through treatment, when I was really poorly. So, you know...
But you'd never know.
Yeah, well,
you'd never know,
hopefully
Dilly.
not.
Honestly, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You absolutely wouldn't.
So I think it's been an amazing journey, but a tough one. You know, as anyone that's a cancer survivor realises, you know, you have this huge amount of survivor's guilt where you think, you know, you're surrounded by people in a hospital that are really poorly, that don't make it. So the fact that I'm sat here today on a sofa talking to you, doing what I love best on a show that I love, that is just life-changing for so many people, is just unbelievable.
Oh, no, it's brilliant. And Sort Your Life Out starts tonight, doesn't it?
It does tonight.
BBC One at 8 o'clock, and you're going to stay with us because we're going to talk about how you can actually make money from your wardrobes, from the stuff that you don't really need.
Exactly.
Well, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel. And if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.